Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Don't you take me for granted. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Don't you take me for granted. Boy, look how you got me slipping in and out of my head. Got my heart on my sleeve. Grabbing no fucks given. I'm a bad one and you know it. Caress my curve cause I'm here to show it. It's all yours, don't be shy now. I know you want it in a place like this. Yeah, I'ma need to break it down now. Boy, take my lips are pour now. Give you something wet and make me drip, drip. Swallow the juice up and make it drip, drip. Cocoa brown skin glow, boy, this is nothing new. Fuck around, catch it, give it flip. My body gon' turn you to an addict. It's a summertime lit, just make sure you grab it. Yeah, 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 yeah. Don't you take me for granted. Yeah, 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 yeah. Don't you take me for granted. I'm a bad one and you know it. Caress my curve cause I'm here to show it. Yeah, 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 yeah. Don't you take me for granted. Boy, you gon' have to tear them walls down. I know you ain't used to this now.
Okay. Wow. Such a grounding experience with the bomb-ass beats. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful to know such awesome creatives and continuing to build and co-create with awesome creatives all around the world. Shout out. All right. It's been a minute. Has it been a minute? I don't know. I feel like I want to show up more and share my gifts more. And so I feel it's been like a minute. On the other side, it might feel different. So, okay, I'm going to be talking to two different screens. Up top, we got Instagram at Nunu's Vibes at NUNUSVYBZ. Okay? And here I have Conxcious Productions Facebook Live. And I'm so motherfucking excited because today I've been cooking up this topic for a really long time, and it finally is in a space for me to be like, okay, I'm ready to share this. So here I am sharing this motherfucking thing. So today's topic is called, let me just grab a drink because you know this shit's gonna get intense. What up, hey queen. Drink my coconut water. Okay, so this topic today is called sensual etiquette. Alright, sensual etiquette. What the fuck does sensual etiquette mean? Well, I'm gonna tell you what it means. So you just sit up tight, grab a pen and paper if you want, and there is a prize that you can receive as well. So if you do listen to the code word, that's what you're gonna use to get the prize, and we'll go from there. Okay, so let's take a moment, sit, breathe, wherever you are, whether you're on the road, if you're at home. I just want you to take a moment and connect with me, connect with my heart, my soul. I set really strong intentions for these videos, and when I come on here, I set strong intentions, period. So thank you for showing up for yourself. That's essentially why I get so driven to do these videos, why I get so driven to do my services, get so driven, period, because it's coming from that soul space, from that heart space, from the Akash. So today's topic is about sensual etiquette. So what that means is I want us to hold space for knowing that there's a process of intimacy. There's a certain understanding that we can create and hold and have. So I wrote some things down on here just to like hold it down on the grounding of integration of the Akasha that's being channeled through me, and blessings. And so we're going to start with this. When there's an experience that you have with an individual that you potentially see as an intimate partner, not necessarily sexual partner, but an intimate partner, there's feelings that come up. Maybe you see them in the back of your head, in the back of your subconsciousness saying, ooh, I could see them as being as a potential partner. And then your energy changes towards them because you have this like sensual experience. Again, it doesn't necessarily mean sexual experience. And I'm gonna keep highlighting that the whole fucking video because when you have that clarity, you know that not everyone that you have this sensual experience with, you have to fuck. And not everyone that you have this beautiful ebb and flow with, you have to date. That's not necessarily a thing. And you have to distinguish that. You have to distinguish and honor that. And you have to find, wow, I really genuinely like this person. So us being in this conversation right now, it's going to plant a seed in your subconscious being like, okay, wow, thank you for planting that seed, because now you know I've unlocked a space of knowing that you have that tool. You have that tool to pull back, period. So I'm going to give you an example. I had a beautiful experience, and it was so powerful. I'm even going to post it up online. I had an individual who is an acquaintance, and they're like, this was very recent, and they said, I'm going to go watch my friend who's DJing at another location. And something in my heart said, Anushka, you need to go there. You need to go there because there's something there and you want to hear this DJ. And I'm like, oh, okay, can I roll with you? And this person is a male, and they're like, yeah, you can roll with me. And as soon as I said that, there was a few other instances where I felt like in the back of his consciousness, it was like, oh, you want to roll with me, eh? And then he started getting a little bit more touchy, and I was like, in my heightened experience of sensuality, I appreciate touch. That's one of my 5 love languages. I know that. So if you do not know what ways you like to receive love, please write this down. What are some ways that I like to receive love? That's essentially it. What are the best ways that you just feel so excited that we just be talking about it? It makes my heart so bright and open and shining. Because it holds space for people to dive deep into themselves and dive deep into the Akash and dive deep into the best, sweetest, most sensual tantric experience you can have in this now moment, in this God body that we're in. Okay, so I noticed he started getting a little bit more touchier, and I'm like, okay, this is interesting. So I was welcoming it because I was like, all right, like I feel like our friendship got to not like another level of now it's like a fucking thing or like a sexual thing. It's like, oh, we're like on another extension of our relation, right? And so I'm like, oh, okay, this is cool. Like hand on the arm, chatting with me. I'm like, all right, this is like I'm feeling this, like this, you know what I mean? And then it got to a point where I was at the place and I realized why I had been guided from the Akash to go there. It was the venue. The venue was so beautiful. It had plants everywhere. Plants motherfucking everywhere. And I love plants. It's one of my goals to have like just plants everywhere where I'm living, breathing. And that was one of the reasons why I was guided to go there. Now this being, and all love to him, like we had such a beautiful, healthy, stimulating, mature conversation about this after, and he just kept getting closer and closer, and to a point where when we were having a conversation, his hand was just not moving off my shoulder, and I'm like, okay. And in my head, I'm gonna be so bluntly honest with you, these are the thoughts that were going in. I'm like, okay, now everyone in this room thinks we're a couple. Now everyone in this room thinks that he and I have something going on. Now everyone in this room cannot approach me, or every potential man cannot approach me because they think that we are an item. And that was one thing that showed up. Second thing was, Anushka, feel comfortable with his hand on your shoulder. He just means it in a non-evasive, aggressive way. Anushka, why the fuck is his hand on your motherfucking shoulder? It's annoying you. Get it off. Anushka, why can't you tell him that that's bothering you. And I moved few times to really accentuate, like, you know, because vibes don't lie. If you're really tuned in and tapped on and turned on, vibes don't lie. So you can feel that from a mile away that I was not feeling that. You know what I mean? But anyways, that taught me another step of this, what this being was about, right? So then I got to a point where I was like, wait a minute, I need to check this person at the door. That's my MO right now, to let people know where I'm at and make me and myself feel comfortable and safe. Because if I don't feel comfortable and safe in this moment, then when am I going to feel comfortable and safe? If I can't feel safe in my own body at times like these. So in that moment, I'm like, wait a minute. This is bothering me. His hand on my shoulder is bothering me. So if it's bothering me, I need to say something. So I turn around, I'm like, hey, can you take your hand off my shoulder, please? It's, I just don't want it on there. And he's like, oh, okay. And the energy shifted of the conversation. Now, I almost felt, pause, I almost felt bad for telling him the truth. I almost felt terrible for saying, oh my gosh, like I spoke my truth and I don't want you to get close to me. And I almost felt as if that was an issue. Now, all of those beliefs are actually the problem. Those are the beliefs after the fact were the problem. I was afraid of what that person would ideally think of me, and I've been addressing that comfort level a lot, because that's why I'm being able to speak my truth right now like this, and even be like, yo, check yourself, bro, right? And it's been a long time coming, and so when that happened, I allowed all of the emotions to come up, and I'm like, okay, thank you, clear. And he's like, oh, and then he stopped and he looked at me in my eyes and he's like, my apologies. And I'm like, thank you, I appreciate that. I appreciate you apologizing. And so I decided to leave. Well, I already planned to leave early because I didn't want to stay up late, because, you know, I had priorities. And I knew part of that, like, he felt as if I was leaving because of him. And I didn't have to feel guilty about that as well. Like, that's a choice. I do not have to feel guilty for you feeling bad for something that you did. Right? Yes. So when that occurred, I just saw the observation. I just saw his experience. I just saw his guilt. I just felt his guilt. And I was just like, I just have to leave, and that's it. I got home, and I'm going to post the next piece of information on my Instagram, because it was such a healthy, mature conversation. When I got home, I was like, hey, thank you for inviting me. I had such a good night. I always intended to jump in and out. I really appreciate you respecting my boundaries. I had to address it. So it's really important to address when you address when you're addressing your boundaries. Address why that's a thing. Maybe sometimes you don't even need to address. Hold on, let me process this. Let me meditate on this for a sec. If you're in the beginning stages of speaking your truth, feel free. Thanks, sis. I appreciate it. Love you too. So if you're in the beginning stages and you feel the need to express from the mere intention that you want to know, you want to share where you're coming from, but be vigilant when you are sharing from trying to prove a point to the other person of why you feel this boundary is necessary. If you're trying to like prove, like with this like really like your breath gets a little faster, it feels like greed almost, like this like you're hyperventilating, and then you're trying to prove. When you're trying to speak from that intention, it will promote the intention of low vibration, the whole opposite intention of what you initially want to do. And what you're doing in that, when it feels like that, when it feels like you're trying to prove a point to someone else, it's almost as if you're trying to prove it to yourself. And You don't have to prove it to anyone. It can just be, and that's it. Okay. Thank you for listening to my anecdote. We're going to move on to the next topics, okay? Yes, thank you. All right, so sensual etiquette, yes. So I think it's so important to honor that this is a thing, that when we have beautiful beings, that we experience sensuality in. So I want you to write down, what does sensuality mean to you? What does sexuality mean to you? Are they different for you? And what do you feel in your body when you are sensual? What do you feel in your body when you're sexual? I feel there's a miscommunication and a misconception that, and I've been guilty of doing this myself, which is why I'm able to speak on it, that we don't have to like see where the other person's at. So I'm bringing more light on sharing that it's so important and healthy and sexy to be like, hey, where are you intimately? Where are you intimately? I want you to ask this question more in your life. Where are you intimately? Oh fuck, my leg is asleep. Oh motherfucker. Ah, fuck. Alright. Okay, so where are you intimately? And like, who the fuck asked this question? It's so underrated. So I want us to ask this question more. I think it's so important to know where you are intimately. For me, I'll answer for you all. Where I'm at intimately is just loving myself wholeheartedly with such gentle thoughts, and honoring the divine masculine in myself and healing that divine masculine. For so long, I was, for about 2 years and a bit, I was really healing the divine feminine. And now, with a lot of boundary checking, it's a lot of divine masculine work as well. It very much is. And so as I'm honoring the divine masculine in me, I'm holding safe space for my masculine male counterparts. Then hold healthy conversation about this as well. And where that, when you're getting along with a male, in my particular instance, because I'm a female, when I'm getting along with a male and I don't necessarily have to fall in love with them or see them as a potential partner, merely see them as a soul and a friend. So going back to another story, there was another individual who was here, and who I had another experience with, and he asked me such a beautiful question. He was like, so where are you, like, relationship wise? And I like was so honest. I'm like, thank you for asking that question, and thank you for like seeing where I'm at, because I think it's so important to honor where we are at, where we need to be, and where we want to be, right? Where we want to be. And when certain beings show up, we don't have to fit them in a mold of what we want or where we want to be. They just get to be. You just get to be. And so if they're in a certain experience and you are interrelating with this being, you don't have to be like, oh, I could see this as a partner. I mean, if that's something that you're wanting to see, and you know the butterflies are carrying, but I want you to know that you don't have to force every single being as a potential partner. Okay. So, yes, I think it's so important when you are choosing to be intimate, physically intimate, on a sexual level as well, with a being, to ask them where they're fucking at. What do they want? Do they only want cuddles? Do they only want to be sensually touched? Do they want to have sex? Please ask your potential partners if they want to have sex, because some people don't want to just have sex, They just want to, I don't know, go to third base. Some people just want to massage and not lead to like a sexual interaction. And those are different levels that we all get to have, and that's healthy and that's so okay. I'm stressing this, I'm stressing this, I'm stressing this in the most highest vibration, that we get to have choices at every single level of sensuality, of every single level of sexuality. We get to have choices. So I want us to hold space for asking our potential partners, like, where are you sexually? Like, what do you want from this intimate experience? Like, and some people, and like, there's like this, okay, so some people get scared of this question, all right, because it's a deep question. But bringing it up more, it's basically saying, what do you want? Who are you? Who are you? And how are you relating into this world? And if you're scared to answer that question, that's a big motherfucking red flag, okay? For you and themselves. So when you are even about to be intimate, like, check in with yourself. Check in with yourself. See where you want to go. Genuinely ask, what does my body call for right now? Your body will tell you. Do I want to be, as a woman, I'll ask myself, do I want to be, do I want this man's lingam inside of me? I've never asked that question in my past before, and I've been asking that myself, and sometimes I've been afraid of the answers, because it's like, no, you don't. And I'm like, I don't? And now I have to voice that? Oh, fuck. Right? And again, like, speaking your truth, activating the sacral and the heart and the throat. All. I feel like it's all, in different aspects I can address different chakras when you're in these situations. And I think it's very, very important to know what your body's asking for. Because sometimes it might just be as simple as a hug. Or it might be as intense and as beautiful and as powerful as sexual energy co-creating together. I want to like keep stressing, please ask your potential partners what kind of sexual interaction they want to have with you right now. Okay. I think we're done with stressing. Yes. Yeah, communication. I think that's a big part of the communication, right? Like communing in unity. That's what communication is. You're communicating your heart. You're communicating. You're coming in unity with another being, and you're sharing who you are, empowering thyself by letting other people know where you're at. And I am no longer available for beings who do not want to share that intimate, powerful dialogue with me. I'm no longer available for it because it's important to me. I need to know. I've been listening to my body so much. Blessings. I've been listening to my body so much that I get to have powerful, empowering experiences every single motherfucking time. And I do not hold space for anything less than what my body wants and is calling for. And likewise, if you're being asked, ask the other being, right? How that feels. I had another individual who would just always want to kiss, even if they were friends, like not just myself, but other beings. And it got really uncomfortable for a lot of women because this male presence in particular was constantly channeling sexual energy outwards to every single female that was in his life, that it kind of got too much. And for a woman who doesn't have their voice, I don't know what you're saying, but I'm just gonna stick to the MO. Okay, so it got to a point where it was so uncomfortable for them that they were put in situations that they didn't need to be put in. And that really hurt my heart, because that they were going against what their bodies were saying. Now that brings me up to my next point. All right, I'm just going to. Yes. So that brings me up to my next point. So my next point is this. There are probably some times where you have done things that maybe you didn't want to do, and it still lingers in your physical body, our muscle memory, our fascia memory, our auric field. And I want you to take a few days, the month, tonight specifically, and just run your hands all the way down and feel where you felt resistance to actions that you didn't want to do. It gets a little tricky, right? Because when you say things like, "Oh, I didn't want to do this, but I did," people are like, "Oh, that can get really serious really fast." And there's always this big, large gray area where it's like, I technically allowed it, I technically said yes, and I'm just shining light on all of this because I don't want to, and that's okay. So that is that topic in particular. I want you. Okay, give me 1 second, okay? Just one moment. Okay, thank you for your patience. So, moving forward, I wanted to share it can be really interesting. So take that time. If some things do come up, cry, heal, pain, feel the pain. You're gonna feel opening of wounds, emotional wounds, spiritual wounds, and it's okay. Just let it be. Let it be. Let it spill out as it needs to. Okay. The next topic is I want to talk about, which I touched upon a little bit earlier, is about feeling guilty. The reason why I want to talk about feeling guilty is because I want you to dive into the experiences of when you felt guilty. Now, as a woman, I feel like I've experienced this. Oh my gosh, I don't know what this person's going to think. And moving forward, so I don't know if a male has experienced this feeling guilty experience. And if you're a male that's watching this, please comment below and let me know if you've ever felt guilty in this experience. My thing is, I want you to get thinking about what it really means to just speak your truth at all times, to feel your truth at all times, and to unapologetically be your truth at all times. And that becomes very important to execute. Okay. Sexually, exercise. Okay. So my next thing is about no, saying no and saying yes. Okay. Saying no. I think it's so important to practice that as a healthy way. I feel like that's coming more and more in the mainstream to know to speak your truth and say yes and no. So this is going to be an exercise for you to practice and say no. Just say no. So look yourself in the mirror and just keep saying no. Just keep saying no. Say no 10 times, then say yes 10 times. Say no without feeling guilty 10 times after that. Say no feeling proud 10 times after that. If you want to know what the difference is between feeling guilty or feeling fear and saying no, you can practice it, but don't practice it too much. Just feel what it feels like. So when you are empowering yourself with a no in a proud way, in a way that you're supporting your growth, in a way where it's the highest vibration for yourself, it's powerful. Okay, I think it's so important to exercise that ability and be like, no, 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 and it not being a bad thing, it not being a bad motherfucking thing. Okay, no, it's just no, I don't like that, and that's okay, and that is okay. Likewise, I also want y'all to feel the feelings when you reach your shot, when you shoot your shot towards a person, whether it be but you shoot your shot towards a person that you like, and it turns the other way. Feeling the sense of, that didn't go the way I planned, and that's okay. And specifically for men as well. Because I feel like sometimes that can feel uncomfortable, the idea that this person said no, or like this person's drawing boundaries, but this is going to show you that your ego might have died a little bit, and it's fine. It's okay. It doesn't necessarily mean that you are in a space of being a loser. It just means, you went down you turned in a dead end. No, you turned and it was a dead end. You're like, okay. You're not gonna sit there and cry about it being a dead end, or get angry at it being a dead end. You're gonna be like, oh shit, it's a dead end. Okay, let me fucking reverse out this bitch and just continue on my merry way. Right? And this goes for women who shoot their shot at men as well. I am specifically talking to male and female relationships. I mean, anyone who is in this in the spectrum in between of LGBT community, wherever you feel like this applies for you, the knowledge, please do apply it. I'm just applying it from this monogamous perspective that I've experienced, so that's what I can share. But definitely these are tools that you can use in all different perspectives, because this is about interrelating. This is about conscious dating. This is about having sensual, powerful experiences without sex, and being empowered as a human being. Cheers to that, motherfuckers. Okay. What else? Okay, so we talked about ego death. Ego deaths are healthy. They're needed. When you shoot a shot with someone that you like and your ego is killed, boom, honor it. Honor that you were supposed to be there. Honor the things that changed, and you just, skirt. Go in different ways. And boundaries. Okay, so we're going to talk about boundaries. So all of these topics that we talked about already, right? So we're going to go into boundaries. Yeah, specifically what those are. So I feel like boundaries are so healthy and sexy, and I want that to be the forefront of interrelating and conscious dating, because boundaries are just so healthy to have. They are healthy to have. It's like, plants have boundaries. Like if you overwater them, they're gonna motherfucking die. They're gonna die. If you put them in sun, at too much sun, they don't die. If you have less sun, that's a boundary. They're gonna fucking die. Okay? So boundaries are healthy. And I want you to say this with yourself in the mirror. Okay? You're going to say, boundaries are healthy. My boundaries are healthy. My boundaries are respected. 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 I want you to write down what your boundaries are. Knowing thyself at its finest right here in this moment. What are your boundaries? Because with that, you're going to know as soon as a friendship, any sort of ship comes through and that is beyond that boundary, you're like, red flag, red flag. Walk away. You just like keep that in your mind and be like, okay, this person is not in the vicinity of my vibration, and that is okay. That goes back to the ego death. That goes back to honoring the feeling of like, oh, but I want them to be. I energetically trust that there's beings that vibrate on my frequency, and this being is just one step closer to the space in the tribe that I'm connecting with. So boundaries are super healthy and are super sexy. So I want y'all to write that down. Write that shit down. Put that shit on your fucking altar. Put that shit on your fucking mirror. Say that shit out loud. Say that shit in your head. Meditate that shit. Like, know what your boundaries are and be firm with them. You can be loving and you can be firm. So when that individual had his hand on my shoulder, and I was like, yo, this is annoying me. I was just like, can you take your hand on my shoulder? And in the space of like, I didn't have to feel bad. So I was just like, my heart was so light. Like, it was light. I was just like, thank you. Thank you for honoring that. I appreciate it. At the same time, you best believe I don't want your motherfucking hand on my shoulder, right? So it's love and it's all firm. So you can be loving and you can be firm. You can be loving and you can be firm. But if sometimes you really need to put that like stressor, like no, that needs to be exercised. Okay. So for my individuals, specifically my women, also, in any of the beings who find it hard to say no in the spaces, I want you to like learn how to, in the fucking mirror, say like very firmly, no, 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 no. Because sometimes some people, if you're in a certain situation that is gone beyond, it's gone beyond what you've expected for yourself and as a safe space, you need to draw the motherfucking line. Okay, so I'll give you an example. Again, I love bringing stories into it. It's going to give you real life tangibility to it. For a lot of years, I didn't know how to say no in a very firm way. So I would like be a tease. I would like smile, but I'm saying no, but I'm like also being sensual. So this is what I really wanted to say. Hey there, male counterpart. I like you. I sensually appreciate you. I only want to go here. I do want you to respect that I only want you to go here. No, I don't want you to go any more than this. Thank you. No. Like, do you see how my firmness and my no is? Because there were so many times where I was in situations and I chose to put myself in those situations because it's not a victim game out here. I chose to put myself in those situations and I allowed certain situations, not excusing the male counterpart for not listening to me, for not listening in that sense as well. So it was the sense of, oh, she's saying no, but she doesn't really want to say no. Fuck that. Okay? If you do not want to do something, please hold space for you to practice the comfortability of saying no. Practice and being like, okay, holding your body and be like, what do I want right now? What kind of sexual experience do I want to have? And let that be a fun thing for you. Let that be like, oh, I just want to like sit and cuddle. Like, and that be okay. Like, that's like the highest vibration of cuddles. Like, why not? Like, that's fun. And now my heterosexual males, Do I want to say that? Well, any counterparts that are watching this and resonate, this is for you, okay? So males who, I please want you to pay attention to when someone's saying no. Like, please listen to when they're saying, I don't want to go that far. And maybe they don't have a strong voice, but I need you to respect that. Like, I need you to teach yourself how to be like, oh, she's talking shit. Because I've been in those experiences because I was in that space that I didn't know how to hold my boundary. So they're like, oh, she's talking shit. Like, she actually, she does, I can bypass that boundary. I can bypass that boundary because she's kind of flaky with it. You know what I mean? So if you're flaky with your boundary, how the fuck is another person supposed to like be firm with your boundary? Because you're giving them kind of mixed signals at the same time, right? So I'm talking to both of y'all. I'm talking to both counterparts over here because it's this balance of listening, like, oh, she told me I don't want to have sex. Please honor that, even if it's the most softest way. Even if her energy in her body is saying no, but she's allowing certain things, right? Okay, now that's the one part. Opposite part, women or other counterparts who feel like they're connecting with this. I am giving you all these exercises to accentuate what your body is requiring, what your soul requires, what levels you want to be touched in, how you want to be touched in, what tempo you want to be touched in, how you want to be grabbed. All of these things matter, and you have a say in every single fucking version of that. You have a say in every single version of that. Another anecdote for myself. There was a time where I felt so guilty for wanting to go really, really sensual. I'm holding my heart because it's a really sensitive topic. I felt guilty for feeling, for not wanting it so rough or so aggressive. And because I feel like we're grown up to like, oh, that's some freaky shit. And I would feel guilty when I would feel guilty when I didn't want it like that multiple times. And I had to take care of myself. I had to take care of my wound because that was a wound that I had. And I was just like, okay, I have to go inside me and know that my body wants sensual, soft, tender touch. And that's okay. And that's important. And that's healthy. And I get to have that. So I want you to write all these different ways that you like to be caressed. Does it include sexual interactions? Does it include only cuddles? Hold space for what you want. Hold space for what type of tempo you want, how you want to be held. And honor that gets to be okay. Yeah. Okay. We're at fucking 42 minutes out here. Okay, I think we did really good. Teaching people how to speak their own truth. So we did a communication. We talked about where am I at sexually? Where am I at sensually? We talked about asking your partners questions. What are you seeking? Are you seeking physical affection? Are you seeking hugs? Are you seeking gifts? Are you seeking only attention? Like having conscious conversation like that with potential partners can allow for more vulnerable, strong, powerful growth. Learning to say no in a healthy way, learning to say yes in a healthy way, learning to say yes to the things that you want only, and being honest with yourself. So we talked about the ego death. We talked about how like asking yourself how far you want to go, not that you should go, but how far you want to go. So all these questions are bringing you in the present moment. All these questions, your body's going to tell you in that moment. Our bodies are so smart. Our cells are so intelligent. Our cells are connecting with their emotional and spiritual on a moment-to-moment basis, just like this live feed is on. And so we get to tap in every single moment. We talked about teaching how to check up on your own truth. Okay, I think that's it. That is it. Do you have any questions? If you have any questions, let me know. Facebook, Instagram. I am more than happy to answer. If you think of them afterwards, definitely reach out. So the code word is boundaries. So the code word is boundaries. If you email me, my email is on my Instagram and on my Facebook page. If you email me the code word boundaries, you will get an Akashic healing session. They're customizable sessions for people who, all the way from people who want to learn meditation to healing triggering traumatic experiences to learning how to up level into your most authentic life right now in this moment and moving forward. So I help a broad range of people, and it's customizable. So you will get it for 50% off if you send me that code word. This is going to be up on YouTube as well, so definitely please love, like, comment, subscribe. I'll be more than honored and happy to just like be part of your tribe as well. And if you want to see any more videos, particularly to certain topics, let me know. I'm more than happy to just touch on certain topics that people are looking to receive. Give me 1 second. Let me just see if there's anything else that needs to be said. We're going to do a little closing ceremony after that. Okay. Muscle memory. So we talked about a little bit about it before. What I kept seeing was the fascia. Our muscular skeletal system has these beautiful memories. So when you are touching your body from head to toe, I want you to feel different sensual experiences and feeling what it feels like to have healthy sensual touch. Okay? You're teaching your nervous system, you're teaching your body what it means to have healthy sensual experiences, not necessarily physical touch, but it can be in dance, it can be in all the different ways that you want to be. And so that leads me to my first few questions of what do you want? How do you want to be touched? How do you want to, do certain things? What kind of positions do you like? What are empowering for you? Why are those disempowering to you? And having those conversations. So I didn't even know that was going to come up, but the guides wanted me to share that with you, so I did. Muscle memory is an important part of our experiences. We're going to start doing the closing ceremony. So if you want to just take your hand to your heart, feeling the pulse of your heart space, feeling the story that your breath is sharing with you in this moment, and hearing the sound of your breath. Thank you so much for coming out and showing up for yourself. If you are interested in working with me, I do have a 5-month one-on-one Akashic and Clarity program. It's $222 a month, so it's $222 Canadian a month. You can pay in full, which gets you a discount, or you can pay monthly or bi-weekly. So I have bi-weekly options. And the prices are going to be changing in April, so definitely if that's something that interests you, reach out. Free exploration calls are available to see if this is a good synergy, to see if this is a good fit. I do have my Tantra Sunday workshops, their workshop facilitated sessions at 1:11 tomorrow. So every Sunday at 1:11, there's a new time change. We hold it down at the Conxcious Produxtions headquarters. It's going to include creativity exercises, communing vulnerably with other souls, first with ourselves, and then communing in unity, and somatic powerful movement and meditation. Next, we have my cannabis yoga workshops that happen Tuesday and Thursday. So Tuesday for the month of March is at 8 a.m. in the Rising. and Thursdays. It's at 4:20 p.m. Please definitely join us. This is cannabis ceremony at its finest. This is trailblazing. No one's doing this out here. We are teaching people the real deal of the Rastafari indigenous roots, from all the way to the core of the earth, taking it all the way up to the ethers. I am having an event happening. I'm so excited to hold it for only women. So thank you so much. My heart is very full. I'm very grateful that you're showing up. Ashe. Outro song. What? Hey. So that's the outro and the intro song. Shout out to my girl Myth. You can find her on Spotify. That track was called Wild. We're out here celebrating, building healthy, strong, powerful empires. One love.